few weeks into my freshman year, the casserole started arriving. Mac and cheese, veggie enchiladas, fettuccine alfredo, and lasagna. So many lasagnas. The scenario was usually a variation of the following. Doorbell rings, my brother and I look at each other, and without a word, decide whose turn it is to open the door. The person at the door says something like, "Hi, I'm just here to quickly drop this off." Or, "No, don't bother getting your parents, but tell them I'm here if they need anything." Some of these people were close family friends or neighbors, but others were strangers to me. But they were all showing up because, as my mom put it, it's what you do when someone is sick. Most visitors were satisfied with a quick handoff of containers covered in foil, which we would immediately take to the freezer. Overflowing with donated dinner options, the freezer started to resemble a tightly packed game of Jenga. Occasionally, visitors would stay and linger and try to hug me, which usually led to an uncomfortable silence. And sometimes they would start to cry. They were feeling something that was all too familiar to me. A feeling of helplessness, a feeling of extreme discomfort and tension, with blood rushing to your head. When your face becomes hot, you begin to sweat, and you are not sure what to say. I know exactly how they were feeling, but the difference between them and me was this awful feeling was always with me. The people who showed up at my house could turn around and walk out the door, back to their families, back to their normal. But for me, this didn't go away. This was my new normal. A few weeks before, my parents had called me and my younger brother into our living room, giving us the news of my mother's cancer. The first thing my mom said after giving us the news was, "Well, on the bright side, you're going to have an amazing essay for your college application." My mom always had the innate ability to see the positive side in any given situation. In this moment, I remember crying and then laughing, and then crying again. It was this singular moment that would become a turning point in my life. I looked at my mom and I was terrified. I felt powerless and that nothing I could do would change the series of events that was unfolding before me. I thought to myself, what should I do? I looked at my little brother and felt like I needed to absorb his pain as well as my own. He was only 10 after all, and suddenly I felt responsible for him. I asked myself again, what should I do? What should I say? Many times in life, you have a clear sense of what is right and wrong, what to do and what not to do, what to say and what never to say. This was not one of those times, and I was lost. Over the next couple of weeks, my life became a series of regular visits to the Cleveland Clinic. My mom had surgery, one planned and one emergent. I'm not sure if I realized it at this time, but she almost died. The hospital was surreal, almost beautiful, with tall white columns and seemingly infinite array of glass windows. When I would enter, I was almost on autopilot, following a network of signs, walking down the long corridors, passing patients, doctors, and people talking. Each time, I was trying to quickly navigate to a room, but nervous of what I might find. My mom was so happy to see my brother, father, and I when we walked through the room, desperate for conversation. But I found myself quiet, only able to mutter a few words. There's so much I wanted to say, so many questions I needed to ask, but I was paralyzed by the feeling of helplessness and fear that was always in the back of my mind. Despite her condition, my mother was usually smiling and positive, attempting to make me feel better, even though she was the one who was struggling. She tried so hard to seem like her normal self, because that's what parents do. But we all knew there was nothing normal about any of this. My mom returned, and for months she grew increasingly bitter due to the aggressive treatments of radiation and chemotherapy. During this time, it was hard to see her in this condition. She was less talkative and clearly in a state of constant pain. I could see her trying to minimize how bad she was feeling. But my mom was never a good liar. And we knew. We all knew. Another surgery is planned, and this was the big one. Was the tumor still there? Had the treatment worked? Would she ever be the same? On February 12th, 2018, a team of surgeons worked on my mom for over 10 hours, which was far more than they had initially predicted. They removed everything in her body that had even been close to a tumor, desperate for clear margins. My brother and I weren't allowed to be at the hospital while this was happening. We'll get traumatized, my mother kept saying when she thought we were out of earshot. So I found myself at school that day, left with more of this feeling of helplessness than ever before. I didn't know what to do or who to talk to, so I retreated inward, sequestering myself in silence. I felt it impossible to be optimistic during this time. I let the feeling of helplessness overwhelm me. I went to visit her right after school, and I saw her in recovery. She didn't look like my mom, almost like a stranger. Over the next few days, I should have been there to support her, but I just couldn't. I should have been there to talk to her and let her know that I was okay, which was what she was waiting to hear from me. But instead of going to the hospital, I stayed home. Instead of talking, I withdrew. I should have helped her and comforted her in her time of need, and instead I let this fear overcome me. I retreated to my room, paralyzed, and shut my door. My brother would just have to answer the door the next time a casserole arrived. I just couldn't do it. In the weeks to come, my mother returned and slowly began to improve. Each day she tried to do a little more than the day before, and I could see her strength starting to return. Her surgery had been a success, and I began to see her with what looked like hope in her eyes. When she started to bug me about cleaning my room, being nice to my brother, and telling jokes again, I knew she was on the road to recovery. I gradually started to push these feelings of doubt and uncertainty out of my head. I was able to exhale and feel some of this weight being lifted off my shoulders. I started to connect with my family friends again and really talk to my mom. She was not out of the woods by any means, but if my mom could be hopeful for her future, I knew it was time for me to do the same. It's been 2.5 years since my mom's diagnosis, and only time will tell if this horrible disease will come back. I'm a very different person than I was back then. Looking back, I recognize that when faced with adversity, I chose to sit on the sidelines alone, isolated from my family and friends. I refused to talk to people who could have really helped me. I realize now the importance of trying to be hopeful for a positive outcome rather than dwelling on what you cannot control. I know this situation has taught me to be a better person and more understanding of others, and that you never know what hardships a person can be going through. I know now that just being present for a person is enough to make them feel better, even if it doesn't make you feel better. And the most important thing is to strive to always overcome the personal feelings of helplessness and to always be there to support the people you love. So, the other day, I opened the freezer and was surprised to see it was almost completely empty, not a casserole in sight. I looked over at my mom, who was furiously chopping onions with watering eyes. Wiping a tear from her cheek, she looked at me and said, "Would you like to help me cook dinner?" Looking back, I smiled at her and said, "I'd love to." And I really meant it. Thank you. Good morning.